Around a week ago, on May 13th, one of Ja Morant's friends was on Instagram Live where they were listening to an NBA Youngboy song, and his friend panned the camera to him where you could see the gun and quickly realized that he shouldn't have done it because of past situation, so he gets it off of him as fast as possible. So Ja Morant was suspended for 8 games back in March for posting a video waving a gun around in an Instagram Live, and he told the NBA that he would take some time off to learn on better methods to deal with stress and his well-being, and also talked about how he doesn't condone violence and that isn't who he is. So after saying all of this, taking weeks off to work on himself and understanding the amazing position he's in, making hundreds of millions of dollars playing basketball, he somehow manages to do the same thing over again 2 months later. And this time around, Ja Morant responded to the situation by saying, "I know I've disappointed a lot of people who have supported me. There's a journey and I recognize there's more work to do. My words may not mean much right now, but I take full accountability for my actions." He really said my words may not mean much right now. Like, bitch, you said the same thing last time, but you still did it again. Like, obviously no one's gonna believe you. But I kind of understand why he did it. I mean, he was listening to NBA Youngboy, probably wearing black Air Forces, and felt this type of energy.
Nighttime, I'm up at the right time. I say he get packed.
I honestly think Ja Morant may be going for the three-peat. You know, something like the first NBA player to three-peat in hood-like activities, so don't be surprised if you see this happening again in the near future. You already seen all the memes coming from the first time he did this, with people saying he's the first NBA player trying to make it out the league, but it's kind of true. Like, after the second time, NBA reporter Adrian Wojnarowski stated that Ja Morant will likely face a long suspension when the next season begins.
Ja Morant is facing the very real possibility of a suspension, a lengthy suspension, to start next season.
Not only will he have a suspension, but Ja Morant will probably face consequences from the brand deals he signed to, such as Nike and Powerade. If you're paying someone multi-millions to promote your product to increase potential sales, you would expect them to keep themselves out of trouble, because if they do something wrong, especially something as big as you know, it can ruin the brand's reputation. For example, memes have been made on Nike because they didn't sign another basketball player named Kyrie Irving since he shared a controversial movie link, but decided to sign Ja Morant, who played Call of Duty in real life.
Round series, Morant.
If you go onto Nike's Instagram account, you can see how the top comments are all talking about the same situation, and you can probably tell how this is ruining their brand. I don't really see a way Nike and Powerade stay partnered with Ja Morant, which means he's gonna lose a massive paycheck, and not to mention the money he's gonna lose from the NBA for being suspended for a while. I mean, at this point, he may be the first person trying to make it back into the hood. But literally none of this would have happened if Ja Morant's friend didn't point the camera at him. In the clip, it actually looks like Ja Morant's friend wanted him to get caught with a gun. I mean, you could clearly see him looking at Ja before he pans the camera to him, so he would have seen him holding a gun, but still does it anyway. But I'm guessing he was just surprised by how much of a dumbass Ja Morant is, so without thinking, he probably just panned the camera to show what he was doing, and then realized he just made the biggest mistake of his career. Cause let's be honest, this nobody holding the camera, his career is literally being Ja Morant's friend. Like, if he could keep this friendship alive, he knows he's set for life, but he 100% just ended that. And a popular NBA analyst named Derek White said the same thing here.
This second time, he's with someone and they literally go Instagram Live. So you're clearly not surrounding yourself with people who are looking out for your best interest.
NBA Commissioner Adam Silver talked about how Ja Morant flew to New York to talk to him directly and how he was taking the situation very seriously, and stated how sorry he was, which clearly wasn't true as he's done it a second time. But after receiving an 8-game suspension for the first incident, Adam Silver stated that he's assuming the worst for him this time.
Video's a bit grainy and all that, but I'm assuming the worst, you know, but we'll figure out. This type
of event did take place before in 2009 when Gilbert Arenas, who's another basketball player, brought a gun into the locker room. So it looks like Ja Morant actually has some competition for who can fumble the biggest bag as fast as possible.
I've had fucking paintball and BB gun shootouts in our locker room.
These aren't paintball guns.
I know, but it's
these are real guns.
Like, yeah, I'm older now. I've pointed guns at teammates before.
Nope. Ignore what I previously said. There's no competition. This man's like the evolved version on some Pokemon shit of Ja Morant. Like, are we sure this isn't his dad? The NBA then banned guns in team workplaces, so the intelligent Gilbert Arenas instead brought unloaded guns and received a 50-game suspension, which is more than half the season. So this situation can give a good idea of the consequences that can arise for Ja Morant, since he was also caught with firearms twice. To make a prediction on Ja Morant's punishment, we know it will be more than an 8-game suspension, since that was the punishment the first time, but it probably won't be 50 games or higher, since this situation wasn't as serious as Gilbert Arenas's. But then again, that situation was 14 years ago, and the entire world wasn't as soft as it is now, so with this information in mind, I would say Ja Morant will probably get somewhere around a 25 to 30 game suspension. Ja Morant is known for acting like a thug, talking about how he made it out the trenches and pretending if someone touches his ass, they're not gonna see another day, but there's no point to act a hood when you're literally making millions of dollars playing basketball. Skip Bayless said it best in this clip.
You got a $200 million contract and you want people in the NBA to think you hood, to think you gangster, because you roll with these type of people. Bro, you putting yourself in harm's way when you don't have to. Nobody looks at you, John, and think, man, that's a thug. He hood. He down, he bought that. You not. Stop pretending. All you do is yap and talk about, oh, I'm going to let him live to see another day. I'm going to do this. You're not going to do nothing.
But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And if it is around a 25 to 30 game suspension like I predict, the Memphis Grizzlies are doing nothing next season. I mean, you have Dylan Brooks going to the Shanghai Sharks, and now you're missing Ja Morant, your superstar, for around 33% of the season. Yeah, it's over. But let me know what you think about this situation down in the comments below, and feel free to like and subscribe with that little notification bell on to never miss future videos.